Hey everyone, welcome to Low Memory Reviews, reviewing your favourite anime with a cool 512 megabytes of RAM. In this new series, I'll be reviewing anime that I don't remember very much because I haven't seen it in a while. This is just kind of a test to see how it'll actually turn out. As I'm reviewing these shows from my memory, I'm probably going to get things wrong and just don't take them too seriously. Today's anime review will be Yosuga no Sora in Solitude Where We Are Least Alone. For those of you unfamiliar with the anime Yosuga no Sora in Incest Where We Are Least Alone, it's based off a visual novel of the same name by developer Sphere. The studio behind this adaptation is Feel, who gave us repugnant trash like Kiss X Sis, so we're off to a good start. Yosuga no Sora, I've already run out of jokes to make with the name, is primarily based on the protagonist Haru, at least I think that's what his name is, I'm pretty sure that's his name, and his sister Sora. Haru is about as interesting as cardboard, and Sora is kind of annoying and clingy, but she's alright. Haru and Sora move into a house together without their parents, despite them being teenagers, in a town that I think they grew up in. At least Haru grew up in this town, I'm pretty sure. Your other characters are this girl who plays the viola, Akira, aka the best girl, titty glasses, and then there's this maid, and she's pretty cool. Because I assume Sphere wants to be like Key, Haru knows all the girls, or some of the girls, from when he was a kid and lived in the town. Being a visual novel adaptation, it stays true to its roots and other visual novel adaptations I've seen by actually treating each girl's root as a separate entity in a parallel universe or something like that. Keep in mind I've only seen Canon and Clannad, so maybe this is a more normal thing in visual novel adaptations of anime. I don't know. Because of this, I will review this anime by these roots. The first root is the Viola girl that I don't remember the name of, and I don't particularly care to look it up. What I do remember is that she plays a viola, she has dark hair, she's rich, and I think she has some parental issues. I don't know. As this route does open the anime, it does introduce all the other more interesting characters and then kind of focuses on Haru putting his cardboard dick in her viola hole. Oh yeah, this anime has sex scenes, I forgot about that. Don't watch this if you don't want to see some anime titty. Basically, Haru wins over Viola Girl somehow, helping her with family issues probably, fucks her, and that's all I remember. Moving on. I'm just going to quickly mention that during this route that Haru and Sora start to build some awkward incest, sexual tension, which we'll get to later. Next arc is Best Girl Akira. As much as I love Akira, she's wonderful, her route is admittedly as boring as Viola Girl, so I don't really remember what happened. She's a shrine maiden. I think she has dead parents or something. There's something about her burning a letter, I think. Oh yeah, and then there's this nice scene where her and Haru are in the bathtub, and also they fuck. Moving on. Now we reach the better route in this anime, the glasses titty / Sora route. I remember these two routes being connected, so hopefully I'm not messing that up. The best thing about this route is that the weird sexual tension between Haru and Sora that has been hinted and built up to this point is starting to feel meaningful, and this route acts as the blow-off for that. Haru and Glasses Titty knew each other as kids, and early on in this route they get into a relationship, much to the dismay of Sora, even though she doesn't seem to care in the other routes for some reason. It's possibly because of a certain event that happened when Glasses Titty and Haru were kids. I'm not going to mention what that is because it's actually quite interesting. During this relationship, Sora gets increasingly jealous and is constantly fighting with Glasses Titty. Haru and Glasses Titty relationship falls through after they fuck at a festival. But I don't really remember why it falls through, and now we just go into the incest part. When I watched Yosuga no Sora, it was the first anime with incest themes I had watched. I find incest disgusting, however after seeing other incestuous animes, that has made me appreciate the tact in which Yosuga no Sora dealt with the incest. During this time it's explained that Haru and Sora spent a lot of time apart as kids, so once they were together, they didn't really see each other as brother and sister. You get flashbacks from them kissing and stuff when they were younger. Eventually, Haru finds out about Sora's feelings about him and actually struggles in understanding both his own and his sister's incestuous feelings. I enjoyed that they finally gave Haru some character with real emotion and real hardships, and that they didn't just treat this incestuous relationship as, it's fine. It actually explores the hardships of incest in an interesting way by talking about how they will be disowned by their friends, their family, and by all of society. it also mentions that they can't have kids, with Sora going as far as offering to abort any child they might conceive so that they can be together. As well as it does address these hardships, it does still kind of rush into the sex a bit early and they just kind of get over it a bit. But it still does a very good job in mentioning the problems with getting into an incestuous relationship. I won't talk too much what happens in the ending of the anime because it's actually pretty good and pretty interesting. You just gotta deal with a lot of incestuous sex, and I do mean a lot. Also, there's this after credits route about the maid girl that manages to be both funny and serious, and is honestly the highlight of the show. Where the first two routes just do boring things and then there's some problem which Haru helps them and then fucks them, this route cuts down the time of those arcs and replaces those boring things with humour, and then there's a decent hump in the relationship that Haru has with the maid girl that he overcomes so he can be with her. It's nice. Why couldn't the rest be this nice? While it sounds like I mostly dislike this anime, I don't really dislike it that much. I wouldn't call the earlier two arcs bad, just boring, and they're really hurt by the fact that Yosuga no Sora is only 12 episodes long, and it's hard for them to build these characters from a visual novel that they probably had hours of content to build these characters. The route with Glasses Titty and Sora was actually rather fantastic in my opinion. Haru became a decent character with understandable emotions and hardships, and while I think they did deal with the incestuous themes rather well, there are better incestuous animes to watch depending on what you want. If you want the incest porn side of Yosuga no Sora, go watch Aki Sora. Yosuga no Sora deals with the incestuous themes better, but Aki Sora just serves as better porn with actually some interesting plot elements despite it being porn. If you want incest without the porn, watch the first season of Oromo. Again, I do think Yosuga no Sora handles the incest better. However, Oromo Season 1 is just a more enjoyable product in my opinion, with some great messages on being yourself and stuff like that. I'll get to why I only think you should watch Season 1 in a later review. If you are willing to trudge through the first two arcs of Yosuga no Sora, feel free to give it a watch. Who knows, it might actually be better than I remember it to be. However, I would recommend both Aki Sora and Oromo over this, depending on what you want from an incest anime. I'd give Yosuga no Sora 1GB of RAM out of 16GB of RAM. Hey, hopefully you enjoyed this first review thing. Please tell me what you think about it. I really want to know if this is alright, if I need to talk a bit better, if I need to edit a bit better. I want to know what people think about this, because I want to know if this is something that people actually want to see, and if they do want to see it, what do they want to see? Do they want me to be more interesting in how I talk and how I edit everything and whatever else? Just please give me your criticism, and if you think I was wrong in what I said about Yosuga no Sora, please feel free to tell me that. Again, I don't remember it that well, so I can't really comment on it that well, but that's kind of the point of this series. So hopefully everything was fine. I'll probably keep going. I have a few reviews still planned, but I just want feedback on what people think I should do with this series. It'd really be appreciated.